Okay, hi guys. So I've been saying I'm gonna release the Battlefield 4 mesh importer uh, for 3ds Max. I said I just wanted to finalize it, but basically because of lack of time, and I kind of figured that I won't be able to get it completely perfect and completely newbie proof. Um, I'm just gonna have to release it as it is. I mean, it works. It works most of the time. There are a few problems. It still has, but it works most of the time, and it should be fine for the general use. All right, so you're gonna need to have your game files extracted. You're gonna need to have your game files extracted using Frank Elsner's script, which you're gonna find on bfeditor.org, forums, index, yada yada yada. Just look for the thread that says bf4 sb talk dumper, and you're gonna download this. Just basically follow the instructions and install it. Extract the game files, and then you're gonna load my scripts in 3ds Max, just like this. Click on Max script, open script. Just gonna navigate to mine. Alright, so it's gonna give you this window. I'm gonna go into tools, evaluate all. Well, basically there's an order again to importing things. For example, if you want to load a character with bones, there's an order. So first you need to load the skeleton and then the mesh, so that the weight for the vertices should have a bones to be attached to. So for this example, I think we're going to load a vehicle or something, because I should have loaded. No, actually, I just cancel this and let's load. Okay, open. I'm gonna navigate to. Should be a bone maker. That's it. Okay, evaluate all. You're gonna navigate to your converted EBX file, which is going to be under animations and skeletons. For EBX conversion, Frank has got another converter. It's going to be there we go. BF4 EBX to text converter. Just use the script to convert all your EBX files to text files, so my script will work with them. So for this instance, I know the skeleton for the character is normally used the Warsaw and SKE01. Okay, and so that gives us a tiny little skeleton there. And now we can import the mesh. And go to evaluate all. We can basically just use the assault. Oh yeah, for the folder management, there's another tool that I developed. It's called the chunk and mesh file management tool, which basically, if you're not familiar, it's going to be hard to describe, but basically what it does, it simply reads out mesh files and finds the corresponding chunk file, which is the actual geometry file, and glues them together and moves them into separate folders. It's kind of hard to explain, but before that, you just get files like this in a folder. Just and if you copy over the chunk files, it just becomes a mess. So what I did, I just made a well, actually, my friend helped me to make this small app to manage the files into basically copy these two files in a folder. Uh, can't see. There we go. Because my script expects a mesh file that is next to the chunk file because they basically have to be together to work for the script to work correctly. So let's just choose add gear. It might take a few seconds for the script to load because it's quite slow. Okay, so we got our geometry loaded. It's got textures, but they're not exactly what we wanted. So let's try and fix them up. Well, the script it tries to apply the textures that it can find in the folder sitting next to the mesh and chunk files. Since I tried to make it as general as possible to work with quite a few games actually, with Battlefield 4, Battlefield Hardline, what else? Need for Speed, whatever the last one, Rivals or whatever it's called. And there was another game, Plants vs Zombies. So I tried to generalize it, the application of textures, and basically it just gets you the closest files it can manage, and it doesn't work all the time. So it's quite easy to fix. Let's have a look at this. Glass. I'm not gonna borrow the glass. Salt. And your shader. Let's see. Basically, you just navigate to the correct file right now. Let's try this one. Yeah, that looks more like it. Okay. Yep. I mean, same goes for the rest. I just got the normal map, correct normal map. We can even try to show it as a hardware shaded. Try the specular. Okay. Again, the specular maps are, they're using 3 different channels to display specular, ambient, occlusion, and something else. I think it's the green one that they're using for the specular map. So we're just gonna apply an RGB tint map. I'm gonna set the blue and red to 0. And still looks like crap, but anyway, that's up to you to play with, you know. Okay, let's try and import something else. Let's do the lower body. Okay. Again, for the texture, we just go back in here. Grab you that. Okay. Let's just remove that for now. Okay, so we got the lower body. Let's do the upper body. Again, this might take a few seconds, so. Alright, so our upper body is in the scene. Let's try to get the correct texture for it. Okay. It's the arms. Must be this one then. Yeah. Let's do this. Salt upper body. Yada yada yada. Okay. Specular arm. Okay. I'm not gonna bother with all the eyes and mouth bags and all that. Okay. So let's save for just in case something goes wrong with while exporting. Basically, this is it. I mean, the character is all, well, it should be. Let's check. Uh, if you don't get this, this is basically the layer manager right here. Okay. Yeah, so the mesh is properly weighted. Well, properly, it's been done by dice. We're just using the data. Okay. So right now, I mean, you can animate it or use it to your extent, whatever you want to do with it. But if I was to animate it and render it back in Max or something, I'd probably use Motion Builder because it's a lot easier to animate. It gets you a real time uh, playback with animation, and basically it's just more animation friendly than Max itself. So what I would do, I'd just select everything, and I'd say export. No, actually send to Motion Builder as a new scene. Oh, it hasn't crashed this time. Okay, so we're in Motion Builder. It's a little dark. I don't know why it turns the global lighting to 0. Turn it back to 1. And to be able to animate our character, we're just gonna drag a character template onto one of the bow nodes. Come on. Oh, before that, of course, I should have set the bones to, well, basically the arms to T-pose, which motion builder is way more friendly when you're using a T-pose than an A-pose. Okay, so that's about 180. Yeah. Okay. 0. 0. Okay. Not sure about the shoulders, but I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. Actually, it kind of looks weird, doesn't it? Oops. Yeah, that looks about right. I'll just switch between the modes to click Control A so you can see and hide the bones. Or bone nodes, whatever you call them. Alright, and just pull the character template onto one of the bone nodes. Say characterize and biped. And the beauty of it is that all the bones that we're using and that are sitting in the basically in the files, they're all named properly to Maya convention, which is exactly the same system that the motion builder uses. They're basically sharing the same IK or whatever it's called system. Basically, it works nicely. You don't have to rename the bow nodes or anything. It just works automatically. You just click biped and it should be characterized. Let's create a control rig. So now you can click on this if you want to. Alright, try apply some motions to him. Extend the time frame. So yeah, it's as easy as that for the animation. Um, Now, if you want to bring the animation back to 3ds Max, you have to go to animation, plot all properties, and that hopefully. Actually, we might have to plot the character. The animation from control rig to skeleton. Okay, Now it should be ready. Nope. Let's see if it worked. Seems like it did. Gonna hide the bones. It's gonna help the frame rate. Come on. All right, let's try importing a Battlefield 4 vehicle. First of all, we're gonna load a file. Basically, we're gonna create some nodes, sort of like bone nodes. It's gonna help us when the mesh model is loaded to move all the parts to their corresponding places. So I'm gonna go. This is gonna be free. Probably gonna rename it, but it's gonna be vehicle skeleton reader. I'm gonna go evaluate all. I'm gonna navigate to our bundles folder. EBX, yeah, you'll have to have your EBX converted. So I'm gonna navigate to this. Gameplay, vehicles, Russian MRAP, SPM free. And we need the largest file, Russian MRAP SPM free. Basically, it's gonna create a bunch of nodes. And what we need to do is go to rotation and select scene origin and angle snap as well. So we're gonna rotate it by 90 degrees. Off. And doesn't really look. It's weird. Yeah, so I think it's gonna have to be x-axis. Alright, so we got our point cloud. Let's import the mesh. Okay, it's gonna be a Russian MRAP SPM free. This one. Now again, it's asking for me to, if I want to detach all the parts that comes with the model. I'm gonna say yes. It's just gonna take a while because, well, vehicles come with a lot of parts. Again, yes. At some instances, Max might freeze up. Don't worry, it's just doing the job. So just wait a few moments. When we're gonna for other games like Need for Speed, since the game vehicle objects are really massive, they take a long time. So keep that in mind. It might take up to five or 6 minutes to load up a model. Yep. I've added these well, what do you call them? Question boxes or whatever, dialogues. so that you'd have more control of what you want to import and what not. So, okay, looks like we've got everything loaded up. So we're gonna grab the wheel. See, these nodes are in place where the mesh is supposed to be. Just gonna select X, Y, and Z position to pivot point. No, that looks like it's, yep. Okay. Nope. Yep. Yeah, nope. You align it. You align the parts with Alt plus A. And click on the node. Alright, so that's done. Some of the nodes might not be there. For example, I think there's one missing for the engine cover. Yeah, it's not there. So you might have to do it manually. Okay. It doesn't even look like we've got for the doors. But basically you get the idea how it works. And again, the textures are exactly the same as with the with Battlefield 4 characters. Again, sometimes you might, I'm not sure, I haven't checked every single vehicle, so you might get a problem where the texture is not displaying properly, even though you know it's that is the correct texture. Just have a look under the map properties and change the map channel 1 or 2. Just try switching between those, and it should fix the problem. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the vehicles. Alright, so let's give it a go for Battlefield Hardline characters. Let's import the skeleton first. I'm gonna select BF4 Bone Maker, because BF4 Bone Maker works with Battlefield Hardline as well. Just gonna use that. And ironically, even the EPX file is identical from Battlefield 4. So we're just gonna use that. Well, actually, we're using Hardline, but like I said, it's exactly the same file. You can use Battlefield Force or this one. We've got our skeleton loaded up. Let's go to Mesh Importer. We can try any model. Just say criminal, professional, headgear. Again, give it a few moments. There's some weird offset in his face, which has to be fixed manually. I wasn't being able. As for the game, this gets fixed in the runtime, and I haven't found a right way to do it with my script. So this has to be fixed manually. I mean, go into the vertex mode and then just fix his face. I'm not gonna do that now. Just gonna import an upper body. Alright, so his upper body is loaded. Even the texture seemed to be alright for some reason. Alright, let's slow it. Lower body. Okay, so the lower body is loaded. Problem with his face texture. Let's hide the bones. So look. It's a little better. Probably gonna use the same texture, yeah. And again, the eyes need to be fixed manually. For that we need to disable always deform. Okay. Eyes are normally somewhere shared. Textures, eyes, eyeball. Alright, so the model is properly weighted. Still some funky distortion in his forehead, but it can all be fixed with moving the bones, which I do not intend to do now. So basically, this is it for Battlefield Hardline characters. All right, let's try importing Need for Speed Rivals models, car models, obviously. So navigate to the dump, bundles, res, vehicles, player, any of those really. McLaren. Try this one. Again, it's asking for the same thing wherever I want to separate the parts, but for this tutorial, I'm just gonna choose now because it's gonna be a lot quicker. Again, you see the separate meshes being imported into separate layers, so it's easy to manage. Again, keep in mind that these car models are huge in polygons, so it's gonna take a while, especially when you're separating them to separate parts. Okay, so let's our McLaren there. Let's see. Let's see if the textures are there. Internal ID. Okay, so look. Okay, they're not in the PNGs. Yep, the textures seem to be fine. And oops, come on. Yeah, so this is it for the Need for Speed vehicles. I mean, all the textures are there, the texture coordinates, I mean. You just need to reapply the textures. That's pretty much it for the Need for Speed. Alright, so let's give it a go to Plants vs Zombies characters. Well, basically plants or zombies. Okay, let's choose the Bone Maker BF4. Validate all. Before we go any further, we need to know how many bones we have inside the EBX text file. So we're gonna open it up with, well, I prefer C++ editor, so, oh, Notepad++, sorry. Basically, the way we count it is we go to bone names array, starting with this line, and the lines following that, and we scroll down till we see the end of that array, and we see it's 194, so +1 because it starts with a 0, so that's 195. That's what I've got in there. I've already done that, so I've got 195 bones in this file. Alright, so we put that in, and then we open it up. Okay, so we got the skeleton for the sunflower. Right, let's import the mesh. Rig and model. Okay. Again, a few moments. All right. So that's our plant. It should be rigged. See if it is. Yep. I think its head, I think, is in. So look, it's probably in the attachments folder. Arms, face props, head props. I don't know. Any of these. Okay, we got our face imported. Doesn't seem like it's complete. What else do we have here? Props, face props. Whatever. Okay. And again, it should be properly rigged. Yep. As for the textures, I'm not quite sure. Give it a go. Oh dear. Oh, they're in DDS. Obviously. Oh my. Could be this one. Yeah, I think. Must be. Anyway, you get the idea. The script works just fine with the this game. So that's it for Plants vs Zombies.